Hey, you guys, welcome back to the It Girl podcast. I'm so sorry. I had 2 weeks of hiatus. I was traveling a lot. It was the end of the quarter. I still have end of the quarter stuff going on. So, yeah, that's still happening. Okay, but we're going to get into it. So, today's episode is about betting on yourself, okay? What do I mean by bet on yourself? I mean, we were born into this life alone, and so the only person we can truly rely on is ourselves. Now, if you're lucky, you get a significant other, and even then, you still can't fully rely on them, right? And so, betting on yourself is a way of living. And I've lived this way since I was young, okay? So, some unique factors about me is I was told in second grade I was like a GATE student, which probably a lot of you guys were. But I knew at a young age I was different. I was about 7, okay? And I knew, even back then, because your girl was bullied a little bit, I was popular and bullied. It's such a weird arc to talk about, which I can't wait to write a book about it in my 40s. But, anyways. I knew that I had to be my biggest fan because from a young age, you guys, I give off an aura. I don't know. I'm the type of person that's like very straightforward, very direct, not so warm. Like I can be warm, but that's not my default emotion. And so I knew that I was going to have a hard time in the world a little bit navigating relationships, navigating other people because I was different. And I was told I was different on paper. Like the way you learn is different, the way you look at the world is different. Therefore, you're going to have a different experience as far as dealing with people in general, okay? And so with that being said, betting on yourself is the only way to guarantee your own personal journey of success because you solely rely on yourself to get going, to get motivated, to set your goals, to keep yourself on track, and to hold yourself accountable. And the only way you can really do that is if you make a contract with yourself. Because see, a lot of people think they're living their lives, but honestly, they're usually living their circumstances. Like you're just living the situation that was put in front of you. You didn't actively choose the situation. Like for instance, people who are handed jobs that weren't the job they wanted, or in their career field they just got a job and now they've been there in their 40s and they're like, I have accomplished nothing. Because the difference between betting on yourself and letting life just bet on you is you take whatever life gives you. When you're betting on yourself, you're placing the bet. That is the difference. You're placing the bet on how things are going to navigate and go for you in your life, and you're taking the reins versus people who just let things happen to them. So I'm making this podcast today is to talk about a couple of different ways you can bet on yourself every single day and build up that contract with yourself. So the first thing that I do to bet on myself is I make sure that I write down my to-do list every single day. It's a non-negotiable. It's a contract with myself. Now, does that to-do list get done every day? No, absolutely not. But does it give me that guideline of what I want to accomplish for the day? Absolutely. It tells me what I want, what I don't want, and what I need to be focusing on. So bet on yourself enough to at least set your day up, right? Like imagine going, I want to have a good day today, but you've done no effort to plan what that day looks like. What it does a good day look like for you? And the only way to do that is to set up your to-do list and aggressively make it a non-negotiable. Same way you brush your teeth is the same way you do your to-do list. Like they go hand in hand. You want to double stack these required tasks so that they just become natural and your habit stacking with something else that's just as equally important. So like your plan for your day, like failing to plan is a plan to fail. That's all I'm going to say there. Write a to-do list every day. Now, I do a to-do list in both my phone on Microsoft To Do and I write it down, okay? Number 2, radically share everything that makes your heart scream, whether that's on social media, that's a Substack, you have some random private podcast, I don't care. Express yourself openly and honestly and unapologetically. That's the only other way you can bet on yourself too, because imagine having to adjust your personality for every person that you're around. Oh my God, exhausting. And I accidentally did this for years. 4 years, I used to walk up and my friends would be sitting on the floor whispering, talking fucking about me. Talking about me. And I would be like, oh, hey, what's going, kind of like okay with the situation. okay with the situation, but I knew at the end of the day, the way that I was being treated was just not good. And I realized over time, I used to be like, why am I around? And I literally just stopped coming around. And now I see how everything's played out, and it was for the better. Like, everybody's good. But what I do know is I've learned to just be my authentic self, and I've freed myself from any relationships that require me to show up in any inauthentic way, period. Like, we're not doing that. Okay, and the other thing that I do is I actually write contracts with myself and with everybody in my life. Like, obviously, I'm married, so boom, I have a marriage contract. Then with my company, I have a contract for my job, right? And even personally, I set up my goals for the year every, like, right now I'm doing it right now, the beginning of the quarter. I do it for the quarter and the second half of the year, right? Because now we're entering H2 is what I call it, or second half of the year. So make contracts with yourself the same way you would with a job. Okay, so if your contract with yourself is I need to hit by the end of this month one, I don't know, 55 as a weight, that's a contract you hold to yourself. And then if you don't hit it, you do a performance improvement plan and a SWOT analysis the same way you would do at work. If you start treating your life as if it was a job, because it is, okay, your body is the work, okay, and you are the worker. If you start treating it that way, you will find yourself stopping making excuses on things you need to do, like things that you're supposed to get done. You'll no longer put a roadblock in front of it, because now you know you have deadlines. Treat your life like a job. Treat your time like money. And those are a few of the simple ways I recommend betting on yourself. Like, if you really want to see your life change, like my life changed dramatically in the last 6 months, and I'm about to do it again. I can't wait to do it again, because then in a year from now, when I'm busy and I've blown up and I have a bunch of clients and my theory and proof of concept has come to fruition, I will have said I kept all of my commitments to myself. And I can calmly and proudly say that because I know it to be true. Why? Because I bet on myself. And that is what betting on yourself means. It means doing it when you don't feel like it. If anything, ignore your feelings. Your feelings are just chemicals. If anything, it doesn't mean anything. Stick to the plan, stick to the goals, stick to the things that are going to get you to where you want to be, and hold yourself accountable. There's nothing cute about telling people year after year you're going to go to school or you're going to lose weight, and they've known you for 12 years and there's nothing cute about that. If anything, you're actually diminishing those relationships, because you're showing those people you don't even care to show up for yourself. So how could you show up for me? Right? That's what you're saying when you don't bet on yourself. So my sentiment I'm gonna leave you with: bet on yourself. Use those tips. Try them for the next 10 days, and come back to this podcast and tell me how you feel. Bet on yourself. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notifications if you haven't, so you can be notified every time I upload a new episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Am I onto something? Do you bet on yourself? Are you going to start betting on yourself? Remember to follow me at TNDRAV everywhere. And there is a page for the It Girl podcast on Instagram. It's ITGRL podcast. And you guys can subscribe on both. And I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Bye.